Okay, we're going to get into the action steps today. This took me a while. I had to go through a lot of things. This is just right now in the beginning process. I'll get into more how you can set up your week and things like that. You can batch, like I said, you can do customers. And here's the deal. Do what's easiest first. A lot of times they say, do the hardest thing. When you're in exhaustion, when you feel like you can barely get out of bed, when everything is out of control and you have almost no control over anything, you're going to do the easiest thing first. You're going to make it fun. You're going to make it light. Do the easy things. If it's going and checking messages, now put a timer on it, okay? Because you don't want to waste all the time. Put a 10, 15-minute timer. Go check messages. People have already responded. Go talk to them first. Again, time limit. And then move that. And if doing new conversations is the hardest, do that last. I'm trying to think. Yes. Okay. So if you feel scattered, first you're going to move. 5-minute walk, maybe put on some music, do a little dance, stretch. Just a simple stretch routine. And that will be very, very helpful. That actually, all the chemistry that goes into that actually helps you focus. The endorphins are great. So here's what I figured out for me. I went through a lot of different variables in the chat GPT. I was like, no, simplify it. Nope, that's too complicated. Simplify it. So you can even take this and see if you can, the computer can simplify it for you. So my IPA to-do list, I do movement first because the stress is still affecting my body because it was so long-term, even with the adaptogens and stuff, I still feel the vibrations in my body, and that's okay. I'm working, on healing, and counseling and all these things. I actually didn't have a whole lot of time to counsel, so I actually tried to use the chat GPT to do that. It is not an alternative. I've done years of counseling, so I knew what questions to ask it. I've actually done been a counselor. So one thing is IPA to-do list is workout first. I stretch, or there's a video, a bar video that I love. I don't know why. I also got a punching bag, like a blow up one. Go 5-minute timer. Bam, 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 bam. I just punch it. Feels so good. And stretch after. I pray. I just bless the work of my hands. I sit here. I say, Lord, bless the work of my hands. My only job is to show up and plant seeds. This is my first thought. I need to simplify, detach, and stay consistent. That's it. I'm going to set a timer for starting with 5, then I'm going to work to 10 and then 20. I'm going to do something called the Hot List 20. I will get into that in a little later. I have a book that I keep track of my stuff. I actually have multiple books, but I'm picking one book and then I'll slowly gather as I get into the groove of things again. And I'm going to track it in there. I may switch to my phone because sometimes I don't always have my book with me, so I'm trying to figure out which would be better, but do I want more or less screen time is the question. Does that stress me out? So am I just going to have to play with it and figure maybe sort of do both? I'm going to set a timer. I said for 10 minutes and message 3 to 5 people. Actually, the 10 minutes feels a bit overwhelming, so I'm probably going to do 5. And I'm going to turn some music on. And I'm going to connect while being detached. Hey, just thought of you today. How's life treating you? Send 2 people, that's step 1. I can send that to people who I haven't really talked to, that I'm just friends with. Second is send messages to people that are easy to talk to. It builds momentum. So you can pick one of those 2 to start with. Honestly, I probably talk to the people that's easier. Part 2, and I'll put this up and you take a picture of it. Follow up, about 10 minutes. So this feels a little more doable because I've already engaged with them. We've already talked about, I'm just re-engaging. And part of it is going to be like, hey, sorry, our family had a lot of medical emergencies this past year, but we're all doing better. I'm sorry I dropped off the face of this earth. But I know we had been talking about gut health. What was it? something, I came across something, can I share it? So that gives you just the door to share like a testimony that you know would go with them, but instead of just dropping it into their inbox, you're just creating conversation and connection and getting permission. Makes it feel a lot less like you're pushing or doing anything, it create more engagement. So this is with follow-up, people who've showed interest before, and you can also do this one. Hey, Jen, I know life gets busy, snowstorms and all. Did you get a chance to look at whatever you sent? I think it would help you with blah. And then number 3 is invite and share. 5, I have 10 minutes down. I'll probably do 5, 1 to 2 invites. Hey, Sally, came across something that made me think of you because you had mentioned blah, blah, blah. Can I send it over? And then you send a testimony, a story, or even a tip from social media to keep the conversation flowing. Close your phone, walk away. So that can literally be 5-minute snippets, and then you can work up to larger amounts of time. So some scripts is the ones I mentioned. I don't know if I mentioned in this video. Hey, Sue, I saw your post and thought of you. How have you been? Makes it feel very not attached. And here you guys can see, oh boy, it's pencil. Take a picture of that if that helps you. I will have a separate section on retention that I will slowly build back in. I already do retention with my people. Like I have an email that I send once a month. I just made sure there's an amazing woman on my team that shares it with the whole team. So I literally just copy it and send it, because I that is not something, that's delegating. Not I delegated to her, but I'm not taking the ownership of it. I'm okay. She's willing to share it and using it while in this season, because I just don't have the capacity, and that's okay. My people are getting helped. That's the key. So here's some things on focus. So let's say you have that. I should have done this first. You need 1 to get focused. You need a clear list of what to do. That's why I built that IPA of exactly. I sit, I pray, I open my book, I do this. I'm going to see what works and what doesn't. What works, I'm going to keep. What doesn't, I'm going to throw out the window and try something new. But 1, you need a clear list of what to do. 2, just do it in 5-minute increments and do not overload yourself. Do not. Start very small. You can do 5-minute increments of like 10 or 20. And here's a number 3. You can do a 20-minute, take a break, and then repeat. Sometimes it helps having it scheduled. If you don't have the capacity to have it scheduled, then you can fit that in when you need, if it doesn't feel overwhelming. Like, I mean that like mental wall. Because there's times I was able to do the 20 minutes and fit it in and go on the fly. I don't have that now. I have to schedule it. It's funny. I'm not a scheduler. So if you are a scheduler, that helps you. Get it in there. Get it done. It will create more system, more habits, and you'll actually, if you do schedule it, you'll become more used to it, and it'll be less resistance. So that will be helpful. So number 4 is, what is one thing I need to do? And then the second question under that is, how can I make this easier? Just things to think about. And then realizing your energy. When do I feel the clearest and what drains me? Now, here's the caveat. I feel the clearest first thing in the morning, but my kids are up. It's crazy. It's busy. We homeschool from home. We've got all this stuff. My mom lives with us now. Like, there is so much. In my clearest time is the busiest part of our family day. So I actually had to bump that to after lunch. I still feel a little clear. I'm not as energized, but it's at nighttime. I feel that it's less busy after they go to bed, but my brain is like, I do half the amount of work and I should spend that time sleeping versus trying to I'll send 1 message at night, and then the bulk of the rest of it needs to be during the day. Unless I literally just can't get to it in the day, and then I'll bump it to the nighttime. So brain dump. This is where you literally have a massive list of you just write down, because I will always have something pop in my head when I'm sending a message. Something I see on someone's page, or something I say to someone makes me realize I totally forgot to do these 10,000 things. So I write them down, and then I focus back on the conversation because it distracts me. And then you need a simple task list. 3 things. Like message one person, maybe do a post, say affirmations, or I don't know, whatever works for you. I have things I want to try is play music while doing this, or right before, to energize me. Workout and stretch videos right before if I can't do a full workout. Always do the easiest before the hardest. And here's my favorite is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You do it rule. Immediately, you just do it. And then you have mini rewards. You can reward yourself. Yes, my dog just opened the door. You can reward yourself of like, I don't know, I'm going to have this snack after I complete this. Or go for a walk or go do something fun. So I hope this encourages you. I have a couple more videos that will come after this.